Okay, so we're explaining analyzing influences on technology. So it's talking about different bicycles and how that was a type of technology that was used. And the person who invented the air-filled bike tire was actually John Boyd Dunlop. And it used to be that there were these rubber tires, but his son had difficulty learning to use a hard rubber tire, so the technology was inspired by his individual need. His son needed something different, so he created a brand new technology in order for that to work. Okay, now scientific discoveries can be things like our computer technology. That's really huge right now. A lot of computers have become smaller, faster, and more efficient. Let's continue to talk about the technology. Went down to the computers and how the computer used to be the size of a room. So what is a positive and negative influence that computers have on society? So the positive is that computers make it easy to find answers to your questions and to research different parts of the world. The negative influence of computers is that there is a lot of information that is not true that you could think was true. Also, people are not exercising because they spend all day on the computer. So that would be a positive and a negative. What would happen if every piece of technology around you were to disappear? I think that if technology disappeared, it would be harder to do my homework or see my friends and family that live far away. I also think it would be hard to play games that I like to play. A lot of people like to play games on the internet. So there's no internet, you can't play your video games. Environmental influences of technology. So they're talking about how farmers use technology to capture rainwater, to help with their crops, to keep their crops alive in cold and hot climates. Society, people want certain things, and so technology can come up with something really interesting and cool that people want. So there's a lot of these, like the U.S. Clean Air and Clean Water. There's technology concerns just to make sure that we're not hurting the environment. But people with physical disabilities need to also have access, so technology can also help them with wheelchairs and showering benches and assistive listening devices. Even on this program, there is the ability for it to play audio to read this to you, and that is technology at work. How technology has changed over time, so the size of TV screens have gotten bigger and flatter. They're talking about gas heaters, so they used to be gas heaters, but now we have different kinds of heaters that are better for us. And we used to only have outdoor bathrooms, now we have indoor bathrooms. In the 1970s, there was the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, and they put limits on the vehicle emissions because they made cars, they had a lot of pollution that would be linked to human diseases. As a result, car makers had to develop technology that would take out all the pollutants in vehicle exhausts. So what limit to technology does this represent? Is this a societal change? Is this a new technology informed by science? So is it society that wanted this change, or technology from science, or a change in a law, or a technical change that resulted in scientific discovery? Well, the people didn't ask for this, but car makers had to do it because there was a limit on vehicle emissions due to a scientific link. So that's new technology from science, and society limited that technology. Mosquitoes can spread diseases such as malaria. How would the climate of area kind of affect your design? You can record evidence in your book. You can mention things like if it's hotter, there might be more mosquitoes, but you need it to be breathable. You can't just put up a whole sheet because when you're getting it hot, it has to have holes in it that are very, very small, so a mosquito can't fit in. Right now we're talking about transportation, the different aspects of bridges, railroads, and roads, everything you need for like biking and cars and different railroads. So now it's going over the different parts of technology, and we have to decide which transportation way was the best. So is like the greatest technology ever invented. You can say you feel like it's bikes or trolleys or cars. So for me personally, I want to write about cars being the biggest influence because cars are used in most American cities by a lot of people to go really far. And especially in San Diego, cars are used more than bikes or trolleys or subways. Okay. The factor that I think had the greatest influence was the car. It was a social factor because people wanted to be able to travel further distances in less time. This is why it was the greatest influence. And later they had scientific and environmental factors that also help with the car, but it started out as a societal influence. So we're going to move on to exploration 4. How did technology impact society? So we need to look at the different aspects of society and how they affect each other. So kind of like we're talking about the car. The car was something that society asked for, and that's why they have it. So we're going to talk about what we think the effect of social and environmental factors are. How there's a water supply and how it goes through water treatment to make it safe, and the economic conditions so you can use certain water. It can be groundwater, but it's not yet ready for humans to consume, so that goes to them. And then there's more that happens so that we can drink water that are not just for crops and gardens. How does climate affect water distribution? If the area has a dry climate, water is limited or needs to be pumped from further away. That's actually true for San Diego. We have to get our water from very far away because we have such a dry climate. So I know that that could be true. People need less water in a dry climate? No, we need more water. If the area has a dry climate, community cannot afford it. Well, that's not necessarily true. Could be a rich, dry climate area. If the area has dry climate, people in the community are more concerned about contamination. They might be more concerned, but they might not be. So A would be the best option. Technology can improve your quality of life. Absolutely. We use technology at home a lot just to be able to deliver food or watch TV or play video games. All of those help to improve our quality of life. It's also true for medical technology, for people who need hearing aids, for people who need wheelchairs, for people who need help and have replacement limbs, arms, and legs. So all of that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be going into hearing loss and mobility and prosthetics to just kind of talk about those issues. And human needs that are shown and addressed by the technology. So if it's a hearing aid, that's helping because you have hearing loss. So we're going to put hearing loss up here. If you have a wheelchair, that's probably because you have decreased mobility. If it's glasses, that's more an impaired vision. And if you need medicine, it's usually because you're ill. We put all those in that place. Okay, so now hearing aids with hearing loss, wheelchair is with decreased mobility, glasses is with impaired vision, and medicine is with illness. Okay, you can pause and move on. 2 benefits of a prosthetic. So a prosthetic, that's electronic, right? So it's like having an arm attached. If you had no arm, they would attach a prosthetic to your arm. What's the benefit of wanting an electric one as opposed to just a regular rubber prosthetic? So the electronic prosthetic would be beneficial because it has electricity, which can move your hands so that you can grab something. Another benefit would be that you can move your arm to help with your balance. So it's helping you to like stay up and stay balanced on each side, and also you can move your hands and grab things. Okay, they're talking about the mosquito netting. It could be inexpensive. You might want to use something like we talked about before that has the netting that's like rubber. That would be smaller. Ooh, hands-on lab. We never do hands-on lab. If your teacher assigns it to you, I can help you individually. But for usually since we're doing all the online, we're not doing hands-on labs right now. The impact of technology on society. They're talking about agriculture and farming has been really hit by technology because you can grow different crops in different spaces, and because there's so much technology with water, it's been a lot easier to grow and transport and harvest. So there's been a lot of technology in farming right now. So what they're going to ask about is, what do we do when there are farmers out there and they're farming, but there's more people than they've ever had before? We're talking about wheat production and harvest. You can see how the wheat production went up, but the area of land actually went down. So the amount of harvested increased, the use of land decreased because it went down. Human population is going to increase heavily by 2044. How will that affect the need for new technology basically in agriculture? So when there is more people, there will need to be more food. This means that they will need to have technology that can get food to grow faster and be transported more quickly to people. Alright, so we're going to end there, and we're going to make a new video starting with Take It Further.